This program is brought to you by Prisoners and Rehabilitation Action, or Empower. And on today's edition of the program, we're going to be looking at the role of citizens in curbing torture. Now, if you've been following this program for the past couple of editions, you would understand that we are basically focusing on the issue of torture, how it affects us as individuals, how it affects us as a community, how it affects us as a nation itself, and what role we can all play to make sure torture comes to an end. And on today's edition, I have on the line Mr. Nelson Nwafo. He's a civil rights activist and also with the Foundation for Environmental Rights and Advocacy Development. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, my brother. Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you on this morning. My name is Ifeanyi Awa, and we're going to dive into this on a very... We're not trying to bring this from a level where we do not understand this, but we're bringing this close to home so we all understand how big the issue of torture is. Now, I'd love to start off from this angle, Mr. Nelson, on the issue of torture, right? Past couple of editions, we've tried to explain what torture is, what the convention says about torture, and with everything that has been said, it seemed to be like we are putting it at the government, that the government is the government's responsibility to stop torture, it's the government's responsibility to take this action and that. But does that mean that citizens do not have a role to play when it comes to curbing torture?
Well, my brother, thank you very much. We need to first of all understand what would somebody do and it will amount to torture.
Okay.
Torture can be an action of a person, a practice, inflicting pain on civil pain on somebody in the punishment, in order to force a person to do or say anything, especially when it is in an official capacity like the security agency or an agent of a government that is saddled with the responsibility to enforce law in the country. So they perpetrate torture on the citizenry, and why it is so much important that government will have to be involved to ensure that this issue of this torture has been taken care is because of the government already has a existing legislation. There is an torture law 2007 that's already in place that really gives guidelines on how you handle the issue of torture.
Okay. And
then we also have an international instrument that is against torture, and the Nigerian government is under obligation to report to the international community which they belong on how they are going to comply to the issue of the anti-torture in the country. So it is more a responsibility of the government to look at the legislation, to look at the framework to ensure that people's rights are not abused, people are not being tortured by the state actors. So it is a core responsibility of government to ensure that existing policies are put in place, existing legislation are on ground, and also sanction measures are against any public office that are involved in the issue of torture.
Okay. Now, you've looked at the issue of where the government comes in, and I want to ask, where do citizens come in terms of this?
Yes, citizens have to come in a way for them to understand their right, because it is when they are being sensitized, when they know the right, they will begin to understand when somebody's activities or the person's action has amount to torture. Because when you understand that you know that a particular action of the same actors, even not same actors, because there are somehow you will deal with somebody and it will amount to a torture. So you need a lot of education, you need a lot of sensitization, you need a lot of capacity building of the civil populace to understand what torture is. Yeah? All right. What it's all about, their rights and their obligations.
Okay. Now you're looking at the angle of understanding. Now we're going to go to another different dimension on this. But just in case you're just tuning in, this is Victims' Voices. It is brought to you by the Prisoners Rehabilitation and Welfare Action Power, and also the International Rehabilitation Council for Torture Victims, IRCT. And we're looking at the role of citizens in curbing torture. My guest this morning is Mr. Nelson Nwafo, who's a civil rights activist and also with Foundation for Environmental Rights, Advocacy and Development. Now, Mr. Nelson, as a citizen, as an individual, I'm walking on the street, I see another person going through torture in the hands of maybe a security agent. What should I do as a citizen who does not have so much power to confront these security agents or whoever? What should I do as a citizen?
Yes, since you have no power to confront, what you only do is to report to the appropriate authority, because we know we have the Human Rights Commission. Then we also have the Public Complaint Commission. Even in the security agencies, there are Human Rights Commissions. There are Human Rights officers in the police, in the Nigerian Army, in the civil defense, in all the whole sector of our security apparatus. They have the human rights desk offices, which you can report to the issue of this torture. And I'm aware that all these institutions, they have been changed. The capacity has been built for them to understand the activities that will amount to torture.
Okay.
And they also, you also have the court. The court, they say it is the last hope for the common man. You can make a case in the court for the court to actually look at the action of the security agent or the person who is involved, other states or not state actors. So his or her actions, actually it has amounted to torture, and make a pronouncement and enforce the right of the person who has been abused.
All right.
So when you see a security agent, an officer, and you have right to report to the appropriate authority, the National Human Rights Commission, Public Complaint Commission, and the Human Rights Offices
Mr.
of
Nelson,
that particular security agent.
Mr. Nelson, is it advisable for a citizen to confront a security agent who is torturing an individual? You know, I've seen some persons stand up to these security agents, but is it advisable to do that as a citizen?
No, because of due to the overzealousness of most of the security agencies, and due to the fact that they do not apply rules of engagement in part of their job. So it is not adversary, because the security agent might use a state machinery, might use what he has against the citizens. So the citizens have to, when you see such a situation, have to use the appropriate action, the appropriate needs, the appropriate authorities, and report this particular action with enough evidence and enough documentation that will make that agency to bring that security agency to book.
You're talking about enough evidence?
Yes, enough evidence.
What could be an evidence?
Yes, the evidence is that, well, you know, in this Ramadan, we have a lot of parasites going on in the social media of a torture of one person or the other, and most times those security institutions have come to say, yes, we are aware about this video going on here and there. Yes, we have to hold on to it. We have to deal with the agency of the person that is involved in that particular action. You can have a small video. You can have people that are witnesses to that particular event. They can also testify for you in the court that you have been abused or you have been tortured by a security agent.
No.
So evidences are always on ground to justify this particular part.
You've talked about having a small video, which we've seen over time in the country, where people post videos of torture happening, and it circulates on social media. But we've seen also where people try to make videos of such things, and this security personnel ask them to stop or they'll be shot at. Isn't that dangerous on its own?
Yes, that's actually why I said it. Because right now we have a lot of electrical devices, and people from somewhere take videos. They have cameras on their clothes, on their shoes, on their eyeglasses. They can take a video of such an event. And the most times, people who do that video are people who have been passerby, people who saw what is going on, people who saw the cruel activities going on, the human degradation treatment given to the person. The person can take that particular video from afar and share it at the social media for people to see, and also for the security agents, that the agency that's involved, to bring them to the attention the activities of their personnel that is outside, that is abusing the rights of the people in the way of torture.
Okay. I'm going to put the phone lines in a bit, but this is Victims' Voices, brought to you by the Prisoners Rehabilitation and Welfare Action Power. at the International Rehabilitation Council for Torture Victims, IRCT. Now, if you'd love to call in and ask questions on what you should do as a citizen, as an individual, when you see issues of torture, or maybe you go through torture, what you should do, the phone lines are open: 0808 182 6949 or 0811 605 2949. He would counsel you on what to do when you do call in this morning. Now, Mr. Nelson, do we have functional helpline for security agencies when it comes to issues? Because I know you mentioned something like this, but are these lines functional? Do they treat these issues very well?
Yes, I'm aware. Recently, the Nigerian Army came up with a security line. It's one of the emergency lines for response. The Nigerian police also have such a line, and also Human Rights Commission also have their own contact line. So these are the government institutions that you can
get across to.
Call. You can call on those lines and report it. And and also human rights organizations like us and some other social advocates that you can call to report those issues. And then we will be on ground to petition the particular agency that is involved, or the police, or the army, or the civil defense, so that we ensure that that person's right is being protected. So there are so many call lines you can call from the police, from the army, from the civil defense, especially from the human rights
angle. Okay. I want to take a couple of calls. Let's get to hear from the listener. Hello, good morning. That's that one. 0808 182 6949 or 0811 605 2949. If you have questions pertaining to this issue of torture as a citizen, you want to understand what you can do and what you can't do when you see an issue of torture happening around you. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Obino Samuel. I'm calling from Umaya.
Obina, go on. Oh my. Obina, if you can, please do call back. If you can, do call back. 0808 182 6949 or 0811 605 2949. Now, while we wait for him to call back, going back to our conversation about the issue. Okay, hold on. Before you continue, hello. Seems the lines are bad, but do call. If you can't get one and use the other line, we've got 0808 182 6949 or 0811 605 2949. So you were saying, sir?
Yes. I need to put this thing to the public limelight because of the issue of torture does not only involve when the police or security agency is somebody on the road.
Okay.
It also involves when they want to extract an information from a suspect. They might use some other means like things like electric shock. They might use the electric shock. It is also an act of torture. They can use any devices to ensure that if it's a very serious harm on that person, so the person can give an evidence. Even if that evidence is true or is not true, because the person is under serious torture, then the person is obliged to give us evidence. And also, sexual abuse. It is also it's just a case of torture.
Okay.
It's a torture because when you sexually exploit a young person into sex out of his or her will, it is a serious issue of torture. And also inhuman conditions in police detention. You can see some police cells are very unhealthy. There's no light, there's no air. It has a very offensive odor. I mean, it is also an act of torture to that particular person that is in detained. So the torture has a lot of
ways.
Dimensions.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh. I still think we keep having issues with the line. Just keep trying if you can get through. Or maybe we'll use the SMS line also, 0906 510 8289, just in case you have issues connecting with us via the phone lines. Now, still talking about the security helplines. When someone reports a case of torture to the security agencies, are these reports taken very seriously?
Well, I think we have the public election officer and the human rights desk officers of all these institutions. And I think those are the people that you make all this for. I think Migration, we are getting involved in some issues, and there was a very prompt intervention made by that particular agency for which you had some issues that really happened at our bar and some other issues, and the police were all just they responded, and those matters were also taken up to ensure that that particular victim gets a judgment. For example, the recent rape case in Aba, it happened at Abia
Poli, yeah.
The CP was on ground, the culprit was arrested, he was dismissed from the police force, and he was also charged to court. I know that matter is still in court, but we need to investigate further to know how far that matter is. So in most cases, in such an issue, when you have a very rapid response to the agency, I think they will respond immediately and also they're going to address that particular issue.
Okay.
And also you can also get human rights.
Hold on, I'm sorry, before I continue. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, are you hearing me?
I can hear you. Go on. Your name and location, please.
Okay, my name is Fenrad Mighty.
Okay.
I'm calling from Opia, though I came down here to work.
All right. Go on.
I think it's Opia. Yeah. So what I'm I was listening to the program. So what I'm trying to say is that on this issue, if it is going to be, if they are going to start it now, it is not late. Sure, you get it. But the way our security men intimidate the citizen is too bad.
Okay.
It's too bad. You can if DPO can make it a duty that maybe 2 or 3 times in a week you go to the right round to the set to ask the prisoner inside there, you see that most of the policemen lock up citizens or catch people along the road and lock them up inside the cell without committing any crime, and DPO will not even be aware of it.
Okay.
And when they release those, when they decide to pay those people with any amount of money that they bargain with, it should that one will be on their own pocket. Then in the issue of going along the road, the way the policemen, the security force do intimidate the citizens is too bad.
All right.
It's
Thank
too
you.
bad.
Thank you.
And they will see some video going viral, and nothing will happen. Like there was a video that was going viral. Road safety, federal road safety, beating a guy, tied him up at the front of both of their motor, and they were eating the guy as if he stole something.
All right. Thank you very much.
As if he commits murder.
All right.
So if we can get help, like human rights, okay, imagine even some of them cannot have access to the security when a lawyer cannot have access to stand a policeman.
All right.
In the court of this thing, all those things.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, Mr. Nelson, he is saying, talking about cases where people are arrested wrongfully and left in detention for a long period of time without the DPO even being aware of it, and he was suggesting that the DPO goes around the cells to know who and what crimes have been committed. I believe there's actually a process for this already in place. And also talks about the fact that sometimes videos are being posted and nothing is done about it, and also sometimes you have issues with lawyers accessing police cells or having issues with police officers who won't allow them access this person. So what do you have to say about that quickly?
Yes, actually, the reason that we handle this thing, this program power, they have been up and down in getting the prisons, as I'm aware.
Yeah.
So they do prison visits, start with that number. They look at people. They even address they even interview people that are when they are been, and some people that have been there when their matter have not been called out. So in most cases, they used to engage some pro bono lawyers who also ensure that those people that matter is also brought to the court and also get a judgment. And in most cases, we also used to interpret with them. If actually we got such an information, then we'll be prompt to respond to it. And then also for the video that is being shared online, it depends on where that video is being shared. If there's a video is shared targeting that particular agency, because the police, they have their Twitter page, they have their Facebook page, they have their online page, they have the contact place. So if that video is shared and and that particular agency is also added in that video. I know they will respond. I have a lot of couple of videos that have been shared online with the police issues on the media, and the police have responded. The one that happened at the Delta said, the one that happened at Bayata, the one that happened in Abuja. And some other videos that have been shared and were flowing up, and the police have been responding to that particular issue. So I think when such video is being shared, make sure that that particular agency are being targeted so that they can get notice of the video and they will react to it.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Nelson, we're out of time. I wish we continue this conversation. We've been quite unlucky with the calls this morning due to maybe network. Hopefully next time it gets better. But I want to appreciate Mr. Nelson Onwafo, who's a civil rights activist and also with the Foundation for Environmental Rights Advocacy and Development. Thank you very much, sir, for speaking with me this morning.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for this.
All right. This program returns again next week, Monday, 9:30. It is brought to you by the Prisoners Rehabilitation and Welfare Action Power and also the International Rehabilitation Council for Torture Victims. My name remains Ifeanyi Awa. Thanks for listening and keep listening because there's more to come right here. Good morning to you.